Welcome to the first installment of what I hope is many videos on how to code PHP, which is a web-based coding language mostly used for dynamic content retrieval and contacting databases and so forth. So first off, my name is Kevin and I will be your instructor, I guess, if you want to call it that. And okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to set up a local server either on your computer, or if you have a remote server that's PHP capable, that's also fine. So the two applications that I would recommend are one, WAMP, which is this application right here. It stands for Windows, and then the AMP is Apache, MySQL, and PHP. And basically it's an all-in-one bundle for Windows users. And then the counterpart to that, I suppose, is XAMPP, which is cross-platform. And then the rest of the letters stand for the same thing, except for the last P is Perl. And these are the URLs which you could download the two softwares at. Okay, so I won't go through the installation. They're pretty basic. It's basically double click, next, finish. And for the server though, you want to have it at localhost, which is basically just your computer. And if they ask for a port, just do port 80, which is the default HTTP port. Okay, so enough of this, let's get to PHP. The software I'm using now is JEdit. I haven't used it too much. This is actually the first day I've actually used it. But so I'm going to open up a new PHP file. Technically, it's just a text file. The extension is a little bit different, but the reason why it's marked separately in JEdit is because they have some syntax highlighting features, and that's pretty much it. So first, let me use this macro to generate some default HTML, and we'll call this PHP Lesson 1 for the title. And most of this is just junk. I won't clutter the whole screen with it, so I'll just remove this. And we'll save this file as index.php. Okay, so I'm going to put our main PHP script in the body tags of the HTML. So to start your PHP script, you start with a less than sign, or left caret is what I'll be referring to it from now on. And then a question mark, and then PHP. Note that you could also use left caret question mark as a shorthand, but also note that the shorthand version does not work if your server is not configured for it. So I always use the longhand left caret question mark PHP to begin my code. So the first thing we'll do is I'll give you a basic introduction to syntax. So in order to do that, we will use the echo function. And just to be clear, like it's not technically a function, but we will call it a function for our purposes. So if you've been coding other languages, a function will generally look like this. The function name, parentheses, and then a parameter. So let's just say hello world, the most generic string you will ever see. And what's similar to some other coding languages is that PHP requires that you end each line with a semicolon. And what happens if you don't add the semicolon? Here, I'll just save this and then open up Safari, find the file, lessons. And since it is the index.php file, we do not need to specify index.php since it'll automatically refer to the index.php file if you have your htaccess file as default. And okay, so what happens right now is it's executing the function, but if I write another line of code, and refresh the page, it will give me a parse error because this second echo is unexpected. It's expecting something else since you haven't ended the line yet. So if we do end the line with a semicolon and we rerun the script, it will give us this. And notice that you don't have any line breaks. That's because PHP doesn't output HTML necessarily. It outputs whatever character set you use. And so a new line in your character set would be forward /n, and then in order to get an actual new line, you would need a breaking HTML break line. So that's what that gets you. And then I should talk about the echo function some more since I don't want to mislead you. Like I said before, the echo is not technically a function. It's actually a language construct. And that basically means we don't need parameters, or we don't need parentheses in order to execute the so-called function. We could just type in hello world. Make sure you don't forget the quotes because that signifies a string. And if we run that script again, it gives us that. So notice that there are no parentheses and the script is running fine. And this is generally how you will see people code the echo function because, as you know, we coders are lazy and we take shortcuts. Also, strings can be used, signified by starting it with a single quote instead of double quote. And notice when I try to end it with a double quote, it basically has not ended the string yet, so it's taking everything after that and defines it as a part of the string still. So we'll just delete this previous line, and nothing too interesting happening. It's just the same thing pretty much.